that on? I hope you do.
All right, we got a special guest this podcast, William Shatner.
Right after his Blue Origin flight.
Famed Travelocity spokesperson, William Shatner.
Welcome back. I can't do a podcast in mask.
That'll just be unpleasant for everybody. Like, I'll be sweaty. It's not going to sound good.
The mask gag works for a CLE intro because it's like a few minutes long, but like 90 minutes of mask is a bit much.
Especially with mask voice. It's not going to worry.
No, sorry about that, everybody. Welcome back to episode 38. Uninformed Movie Reviews.
David, that's only 31 episodes from the most special episode ever.
I'm really bad at math. Anyway, today we're talking about Halloween Kills. Evil dies tonight. How
Will
exciting.
it though? Will it though?
Evil dies in the next movie.
Yeah.
Well, I still got a little bit of time left in that night though.
Oh, that's a good point.
Spoiler. Also, spoilers beware.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
yeah.
If you haven't
Spoilers
seen
abound.
We came in hard, but I feel like if you're clicking on a podcast about a movie, you're already, you know what I mean?
You
Yeah.
see that it's 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's our only topic.
Maybe
Yeah.
3-minute movie review. Maybe they won't spoil everything for you, but 90-minute podcast, we gonna be spoiling.
And let's also be honest, knowing that Michael Myers doesn't die at the end of the movie is not a spoiler.
No.
Yeah. Well, they already announced a third one
Yeah, that too.
when it was coming out.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of like a buzzkill.
That really
Right?
kind of kills the stakes for
Yeah.
sure.
Unless they planned on doing the third movie just like group therapy.
Yeah, they get real weird.
Yeah.
Or they're trying to like hand off the mantle like someone else becomes Michael Myers. Oh, God.
Well, the first Halloween 3 is weird, so why not the
Right.
next Halloween 3?
Right, that's
Why
where they
not
did
just
that,
continue
right?
with it, yeah.
David, I feel like you're the most fluent in Halloween lore.
You know, I appreciate that. I've only seen them all once.
That's more than I've seen.
although, I mean, I've seen the original Halloween a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, you got to watch the John Carpenter classic a ton. And I've seen 2 a fair amount of times. I've seen the Rob Zombie ones more than I would have liked.
That's weird.
Well, you know what? They came out when we were like in high school. So,
That's prime time to watch some Rob Zombie flicks.
yeah. And that's when he was big too. So, and actually, to tell you the truth, I think that's the first Halloween I had watched was the Halloween Rob Zombie
wow.
one.
That's actually kind of a nice way to do it. You like get through the mud, and then at the end of it, you're like, wow, this original one's pretty good.
Yeah,
This is a lot of
exactly.
fun.
But anyways, we're talking about Halloween Kills today, the newest in the series. I think we counted it out. It's 12th movie in the franchise. I'm pretty
my
sure.
God.
Probably should have looked that up beforehand.
I feel like an approximate 12 is a good enough stat to be thrown out.
Yeah, Danny looks like he's typing. Maybe he can find it for us. But I'm pretty sure there's
That's
8.
just my fat fingers.
I think there's 8 original movies, 2 Rob Zombie movies, and now the 2 David Gordon Green / Danny McBride films. The Gordon
How
Green
crazy.
McBride section.
Right?
Yeah, and Frank and I, we were joking about this watching the movie that, that first Halloween was kind of part of a weird trio where it was like Jordan Peele was doing horror for the first time. And then we also had like
John Krasinski.
John Krasinski in Quiet Place. So it was like a bunch of horror movies by funny men. And for the most part, all really good.
They're doing great jobs.
Yeah.
Just an update. You are correct.
12,
It is
okay.
the 12th.
Boom. Look, I was qualified. Anyway, I appreciate that. I guess, before we get too far into it, just so, these guys, I guess you haven't seen all the Halloweens, right?
I'll tell you the ones I haven't seen. I haven't seen Season of the Witch. I haven't seen 4, 5, 6, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
And I've seen the Rob Zombie ones, the first Rob Zombie
Okay.
one.
I've
Didn't wanna
seen
watch
the
second one.
first 3 and the Rob Zombie ones.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I've seen them all. Man, you can probably skip like 6 through 8.
Literally everything is retconned anyways.
4 and 5 is sweet. Yeah, that's a good point to bring up. This is a retconned universe now.
We're picking it up right after the events of 1, right?
Well, no.
Well, not right after, but 40 years later.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to assume that nothing else has happened
Since Halloween night.
since Halloween.
Was the night.
Yeah. Whereas Halloween 2 is like literally a direct sequel to Halloween, very similar to Halloween Kills.
How this
actually
came up, yeah.
And then I think H2O had also previously had erased previous lore.
Oh my God.
So this is like the 3rd, if you don't count, I mean, Rob Zombie, if you count Rob Zombie, 4th time this universe has been like rebooted in some shape or form. It's very confusing. Although I will say just up at top, 4 and 5, Halloween 4 and 5, which I think not a lot of people have seen as compared to obviously the first movie. Sweet movies, dude.
Really?
Yeah, 4 and 5 are worth checking out.
Interesting.
Check it out.
Is that the return of Michael Myers and what is this? The curse? The revenge of Michael
Revenge.
Myers.
I was gonna say curse doesn't sound right.
Interesting.
I might be getting these numbers wrong, as I've already stated, but it's the one with the two. There's a little girl protagonist,
Loomis is in it.
and
Is it Jamie Lloyd?
I think that sounds right. She's in 2 of them though, and those 2 movies are like solid. They're a lot of fun. She's a really good child actress too. Anyway, man, I'm getting way off topic here. David Gordon Green, the director who's brought us such hits as Your Highness,
Vice Principal.
the Sitter,
Yeah, he did Eastbound and Down.
Pineapple
too.
Express.
And Pineapple Express.
Yeah, he co-wrote this thing with Danny McBride, similar to the first movie. Halloween Kills picks up like literally the second after. I wouldn't even say the second after. It's just a straight continuation.
Right from the last scene.
Yeah, which I think they did pretty successfully as far as like sometimes that feels weird in a movie. You know what I mean?
It feels pretty natural.
It feels really natural. It's not like Arrested Development.
There was like
season
half
4.
a second. I was like, wait, what's happening? And I was like, oh, no, okay. I remember everything now. Yeah.
Yeah, they do a good job of like, hitting you with the necessary flashback scenes when they happen. But well, before we get too far into the movie, I guess the plot of this one is that Michael is back. Big surprise. They think that the Jamie Lee Curtis and family, her daughter and granddaughter, they think that they've killed him in the previous movie.
Foolishly.
And they end up spending a lot of time in this movie in the hospital as Jamie Lee is kind of regaining her strength. Running a weird parallel to Halloween 2 in a way. But then we have a secondary storyline, our B storyline, which is led by Anthony Michael Hall. And Anthony Michael Hall plays this character whose name is...
what's his
Tommy?
name? Tommy?
Yeah, Tommy Doyle.
Tommy Doyle.
Him and along with the little kids who Jamie Lee was Laurie Strode, I should say, was babysitting in the original Halloween. They're all adults now. It's Halloween night. They're telling their story. And then they end up...
They're all extremely scarred adults.
Yes, they are. And they even bring back... like some Anthony Michael Hall was not in the original Halloween, but some of the actresses and actors come back and reprise the roles, like Kyle Richards, who my wife was going crazy about because she's a Real Housewife. She's also, strangely enough, and not to get too far into criticism yet, but one of the better performances in this movie, which feels really
crazy
weird to say. At first she was joking about it, and then at the end of the movie I was like, you're kind of right.
Acting performance and character performance.
Yeah. She's got some good like scream queen potential. Her life could have gone on a different track, you know what I mean? If she had stuck with the Halloween franchise, I guess.
I got you.
The one you might not know who we're talking about.
No.
It's the one who's hiding behind the tree.
Oh yeah.
When they have that scene at the park.
Yeah.
She's throwing all those bricks in that.
Yeah, she's doing good.
That sack.
Yeah, that useless thing.
Yeah. She's one of the original kids in Halloween, and now she is a Real Housewife of Beverly Hills.
Spends 5 minutes putting bricks into a pillowcase while she sees the other people getting murdered, and then just hits them over the head with
Exactly.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that scene.
And now in reality TV, she's metaphorically hitting people in the head with bricks. But anyways.
Okay.
No,
Spicy tea.
I'm just joking. Anyways, what am I saying here? Here? This B storyline kind of evolves into this sort of like angry mob, and maybe even toys with the idea of like, are we worse than Michael kind of thing going on here?
I had
the
put it
answer's
in my
no.
notes as the dangers of not being able to move on and the mob mentality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good way to put it. These two storylines obviously are going to converge at the end with a big climax with Michael and Strodes and the kid from 16 Candles. And that's what we have here. Halloween Kills. Evil Dies Tonight. Ooh.
Well, before we deep dive into it, I just want to thank everyone for liking, for sharing, and for subscribing.
Oh, man.
And I ask you all to continue. I am once again asking you to like, share, and subscribe. Help us out with the 5-star.
Wait a second, though.
For those of you who are only listening, he is in a full puffy jacket, mittens, scarf.
I'm actually going to sit like this.
Are you asking people to unsubscribe and then resubscribe?
Sure, why not?
Does that do anything?
I don't know.
Create a new account.
I don't know if it helps our
You know
metrics.
you have multiple emails.
We're asking you to create dummy accounts.
And help us out because it's too expensive to do that in India.
We are above doing it in India, but we are not above having you do it in a small scale.
Wow.
Help us out with a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It helps a lot with getting us out there, getting our audience wider. We like it nice and
again,
thick.
that is a wider.
Wider. Whiter. Done.
Oh man, this.
Go ahead and send us your hate mail and your requests and anything at uninformedmoviereviews@gmail.com. Comment below if you hate us and like us and do whatever. But thanks again for staying tuned. Let's get on in
Beautiful.
to Halloween Kills.
Yeah, since we're
Beautiful.
doing shticks, I'm going to go ahead and hit us with the numbers really quick.
You should.
Halloween Kills currently scoring a 6 out of 10 on IMDb, a 39% on Rotten Tomatoes with its 105-minute runtime. Halloween Kills, made on a budget of approximately $20 million, is killing it
That's
in the
pretty
box
good.
office
Yeah.
with an opening weekend of $49,404,989 and a worldwide gross as of October 19th. Or is today the 20th?
Yeah, no, today's the 19th.
October 19th, $54,827,980.
And if I may interject with a special bonus number, Frank.
Oh, David.
1.2 million U.S. households streamed Halloween Kills in its first weekend.
Which is important. We're in a post-COVID world
Yeah.
here.
Peaked on Saturday and skewed slightly female, up 5%.
Interesting.
But imagine if, a household would have been several tickets.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
we could have seen, this is a successful opening weekend, but we could have seen even more, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, those numbers would have been insane if this was the old world.
Although you also got to think there are people who would have rather not stayed home or would have rather stayed home than pay the ticket, as opposed to I'm sitting here at home. I have Peacock already.
Yeah.
Let's watch the new Michael movie.
Which was
Why not?
me. But you got to consider too, not all that ticket price goes to this movie. I would say maybe $5 goes to this movie.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah, we got to think.
The theater gets its cut.
That's true. Danny is our inside man on the theater biz.
Right. Everyone gets their cut. I mean, that's
Yeah.
also, the theater doesn't actually get a cut from it because
It's mostly concessions.
it's mostly
right?
concessions
Yeah.
in most models. And that's why they have $20 sodas and stuff like that.
Friggin' $7 hot dog.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
if you average like a $5 net profit from every viewer, to be fair, each household cost of Peacock is $5 a month. So they probably garnered it, and they probably got it back.
I
but
imagine they get like a flat deal or something, or I don't know how this works. Well, it's also
streams brings in money
Well,
too.
it's also
though.
like parent companies, you know what I
That's
mean?
true.
It's like they already own it, so why not bolster their own service?
There's also ad revenue.
It's weird.
They do play ads before movies on Peacock before you start in.
This is really complicated.
Yeah,
That's true. When I did the rewatch today, my rewatch was brought to me by State Farm.
that's right.
Wow.
Not a sponsor.
So it does pay for it.
Wow.
However,
Complicated business. You know what's not complicated busin's though? Alamo Draft House.
I
And
love
it's
it.
delicious, refillable truffle popcorn.
Go
Only
have a great time.
$10.99.
Watch
No,
people run around like little goblins.
I have no idea how much truffle popcorn is.
They have delicious chicken tenders. I
There you
love
go.
you, Alamo. Please never change. You're the-
Reasonably
No,
priced
actually change a
drinks.
little bit. Get that old menu back, man.
You know what?
Well, that's
change
COVID's fault. That's not Alamo's
change
fault, I
even
feel
more.
like.
And
David, I'm a consumer. I don't think about things. I just complain.
I would hope they change even more and just widen the road access to them.
For our
now, do you mean-
specific Alamo Draft House.
Do you mean widen or whitened?
I mean, there are no white lines
thing
on
gets
it.
pretty
so-
dirty
It's very-
sometimes.
and it's also very hard to see at night.
Dude, you round that corner and it's so narrow. They're just begging for a big old pile up in there.
Well, we're talking about stuff that literally no one is going to care about. So let's dive back into Halloween Kills. I don't know. Let's get first impressions, I guess. What did you? Let's kick it to Danny. What did you think, man? Overall,
Solid film. I mean, it is a cool sequel. It's unique in that it's taking parts from other Halloweens and embellishing on those ideas, but also it's not just your run-of-the-mill slasher in that there is that secondary storyline with the, it's essentially what The Mist was trying to state with humanity turning in on itself and just going into big old dumb mob mentality and stuff, which was cool. I always liked that. Also gory as hell. I loved it.
Yeah.
I love the kills in this one, and they're not kidding. Like, this man kills. He kills an entire town.
it's his highest kill count ever
Good.
in a Halloween movie. So they hit that pretty hard.
I would say this is the most, well, especially in the new trilogy so far, that we've seen his face too.
Well, it'd be a quadrology because you have to include the original Halloween.
Oh, yeah, I guess
It's
so.
even more confusing.
Wow.
But yeah, that's true.
I would.
We don't get Michael face a lot, but
It's true.
This is one that we get a good amount.
Got a good chunk of Michael face.
What I would say though is being someone that hadn't seen all the Halloween films or is really deep in the lore at all, I feel like I didn't get the chance to appreciate it as much because it seems like there's so many callbacks in this movie to, you know what I mean? And especially, I love the prologue of this movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like how it starts and the effects and how they make it go look like it's in the 70s, taking place in the 70s.
Got that nice grain.
Yeah,
on
the softening of the picture and everything like that too.
Yeah, and what Danny's talking about is there's a scene that they show us that immediately follows original Halloween. But they do a really good job of blending, I guess, existing footage of Dr. Loomis, who's dead now. Like,
oh yeah, that was incredible.
Older footage. It's one of the most successful attempts I've seen in a movie to do that.
Yeah.
Didn't even look a little
sure.
bit like that creepy Captain America movie.
For reals, though.
They did a great job.
And I think they did it smartly because he's just standing in the doorway, which looks like a completely different picture. You know what I mean? But I mean, that's an awesome way to do it. They successful.
Hey, Freudian slips.
Got a little sexy in there.
Frank, what about you? General impressions?
Fun, man. I was jumping out of my chair a little bit. Oh yeah, looking back at you like Joaquin Phoenix and the Gladiator, just like yeah, man.
Everyone knows exactly what that scene is.
Oh yeah, I had
if you don't, there's problems.
Blast. I feel like I would have to compare it a little bit against Halloween, the 2018 film, in that one feels like a stronger movie, a film. The writing I feel like is just a little bit stronger in the first one. This one feels a little bit more like just true slasher film. Like just watch Michael have a great time killing people in new and exciting ways.
It's also a bridge film, and you really get that feel.
Oh yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, it's a little hard. You wouldn't want to try and watch this without having any context.
Yeah. You'd probably feel a little less fulfilled.
Yeah,
from watching
for sure.
it like that, which I kind of did, but knowing like general audience knowledge now is that there is a third one. It is a trilogy, and I did know that going into this, so I kind of knew like you said earlier, the stakes aren't that high, but also I understood that this one is under the key of what it was trying to live up to because it's a setup.
Yeah. But I mean, the other thing too, I'm saying the stakes aren't too high, but let's be fair. I mean, Michael just never dies. That's the point. So it's never like you
How can you kill something that evil?
Yeah. The stakes are always the same. It feels like, one person's going to live and that Michael's going to get back up at the end, or at least they'll show it in the next movie.
Or yeah, at least they don't show him getting back up. They're going to go to where his body is. And
which we're going to have to talk about in this one.
As far as general impressions from me, I got to say, I did not like this movie. I thought this movie kind of blew a little bit.
Crazy.
I don't know. I'm not big on the point scores. This is kind of like a 50% for me. I don't know.
That's crazy.
But there's some things I really like about it. I think as far as the Halloween franchise goes, it's somewhere in the middle, maybe upper middle. Like if we were to rank the Halloween movies, which would be a lot. But obviously this is way better than the Rob Zombie movies. I don't know if it's better than 4 and 5 though. 4 and 5 are pretty tight. But I guess
interesting.
For me, I felt like a lot of the plot of this movie was just sort of middling. Like they weren't really sure.
Well, it feels a little yada yada. They kind of rush through the plot in this movie.
Yeah, they rush through certain points, but then other times it's like, man, we're just sitting in this car. You know what I mean? Or like, what are these characters really even doing right now?
We got to hear that fun story about those guys' dads doing peyote in the woods together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Some of the writing was a bit off, like Frank was saying for me. I thought Anthony Michael Hall in particular gave a real stiff performance.
He was hamming it up too.
And you know what? Even Jamie Lee Curtis isn't phenomenal in this movie, man. She's not doing it. She does a way better job in the 2018 film.
She's underutilized.
Now, it's also the way that she's written. Yeah, they're almost giving her, I was joking about it while we're watching it, but they almost gave her like the Princess Leia Last Jedi treatment where she's just unconscious for a large part of the movie. She didn't
she flies through space.
She didn't force fly through space. Okay, that didn't happen. Maybe be higher up in my book. Now, stuff I really did like. I mean, the kills are good. The kills are great.
The kills.
There's some really fun ones. I mean, again, I hate to. I'm just bouncing off Frank over here. Not to compare too much to 2018, but 2018 I feel like had some better tension scenes.
Oh, for sure.
Especially like some of those one takes of seeing Michael kind of go around the house and.
Well, I feel like part of the reason for like less tension is like we're seeing Michael coming out of retirement in the first of this series. This one, he's already full swing. He ain't wasting any time.
Yeah, he's warmed up.
He's like, hey, this is the next house. Cool. There's somebody in here. This is how I killed them, and now they're dead.
This one's leaning a little more in the camp territory as opposed to 2018, which I feel is taken very seriously. So if you're down for campy slasher movies, that's definitely
it's got a retro feel, retro Halloween feel.
Yeah, I would say so. It definitely doesn't feel too far off. Now, the part though that for me does feel really off is this mob storyline in the movie.
It's weird.
Just to be honest, it's just like, okay, I get what they're trying to say about, humans can be evil too, and that we're also a mob. But when your antagonist is the physical embodiment of evil,
who nonstop can't kill.
Yeah.
Can't stop killing.
What argument are we really making? You know what I mean?
Well, I think they thought like, hey, we usually take this guy on 2-on-1, 1-on-1 mostly. What if we get a 12-on-1? But now they know.
Which is not a bad idea. I think that on its own, if they just stayed with that hollow idea of it just being like, let's get a militia of people and have them like a survivor out, and then Michael just kills them all or something like that, would have been better than them just trying to force feed like morality down your throat.
It also threw me off, and I should have rewatched the 2018 Halloween, but do we see this other convict who shows up in this movie?
We do.
Yes.
He is in 2018.
From the very first scene where you see Michael in the hospital, he's one of the guys chained up. The doctor at that point even makes when those podcasters that are there, he's like, hey, you need to tie that shoe because you see that crazy guy over there? He's kind of weird about that stuff, and it's that guy.
Interesting. Do they show him, because it's a bus crash, right?
No, they don't show him specifically. He's one of the guys being transferred, but after the crash, you just see like a couple crazy dudes.
That guy,
but you don't see that guy because he's probably running already.
Okay,
he was moving. Like he stole a car in this one. You know,
this guy
he was like
crazy.
Cover some ground.
That was cool, man.
So yeah, that part of the movie is actually, I think it's a pretty like effective emotional moment. It is really sad for this guy, especially who's just. He's sick, you know what I mean? He's not like Michael Myers or anything.
Like I'm sure he did some bad stuff to end up in that hospital, but
I'm sure he did.
And he's not the embodiment of evil.
It's
he's
showing
not
how
the shape. He is a man.
It's showing how that mob mentality can just cloud people's vision because it's like clearly this is not the 6 or 7 foot towering figure that we've seen around town. Haven't you guys seen this guy?
That's another thing too. This dude is like way too short for there to be, but I guess they wanted to make him look less threatening. I think that's a purposeful decision.
They were looking for the Arnold Schwarzenegger twin, and what they found was the Danny DeVito twin.
There you go.
Dang. Is this a twins reference, this movie? But for me, it felt a bit off. I mean, I guess I do kind of, now that we're talking about it, I do think it's kind of interesting, the idea of like Michael's fear, like the fear of Michael is so intense that he's killing people and he's not even there. You know what I mean? He's causing other people to kill other people because he's just so crazy. But it feels a bit too long for me. I don't know.
It draws out.
They do drag it on a little bit. Yeah. It does feel weird. Especially you get the the montage of like Michael Hall going up to people. Hey, there's strength in numbers. If you see anything, call me. Like, oh, that's a little bit too much. But it leads to like the terrible image of this dude jumping off of the.
That was great. That was a great moment.
When he jumps, I'm like, they're not going to show it. They're not going to give it to us. And oh boy, do they show it.
Yeah.
Like that guy's brains
they
are
show his
he's
arms
twitching a little bit.
Yeah. It's great.
It's real gory. It's a real gory scene.
It is brutal.
And that's a gravity kill. That's an one for Earth.
I guess that's true. This is going to be a weird like kill count graphic. You know what I mean? Like, which one is it? Okay. The ending too. I mean, maybe we'll save this for the end of this discussion, but the ending kind of just didn't do it for me. I mean, it almost, at first I was joking about it being like malignant. I was like, Frank, what if Michael just starts like matrix dodging all these people and it turns into malignant? He's like throwing chairs across the room.
At least they kept him kind of slow and deliberate. At least they did that.
Yes.
At the very least.
But it's, I don't know, it's towing the line for me a little bit. It's also getting into the realm of like, how dumb are these people?
Dude, okay.
People
are dumb.
Are pretty dumb.
But hear me out. There's some unbelievable things that you have to suspend your belief for because
leave your belief at home.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we're already talking about a guy who can't be killed.
Lock it up somewhere real tight.
But you're telling me that not one regular citizen in Midwest America doesn't have like a shotgun or an AR that they're gonna bring.
Nah, revolvers. Who needs more than 5 shots?
It was like 2 or 3 guys with guns. It was a surprisingly small amount of guns.
But they were all either revolvers with very limited ammo or a 50 cal Desert Eagle that tiny little chick was holding and couldn't shoot.
And then the guy that goes up to shoot him just gets his arm slashed. Like,
and that's my point. It's like, what are you thinking, man?
why would you go up close to shoot?
Everybody knows guns. You got to get real close.
That guy like brought brought a gun to a knife fight. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it didn't work out for him. Like he screwed it up, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Oh my god, that's really good.
Wow.
Like the dude with the like pipe wrench did a better job than that guy with the revolver did.
Yeah, seeing Michael move quick like that, I was like, all right, you guys gonna cut it here. It's getting kind of stupid.
I think I was talking to one of my coworkers, Edgar. I guess I'll use his stage name, Summers. And he was like, we were talking about the movie. He's like, yeah, but at the end, I was like, when he stands up, I was like, okay, let's leave.
Thought he was out.
Yeah. Well, all right, we're done here.
Really quick, before we start going even deeper, can we say like our most memorable kill?
Oh, I was hoping we were going to do this.
Mine is, if I may, is when Mike Myers goes back to the Myers household and he kills Little John. Or no, Big John. He kills Big John by gouging out his eyes, and you just see the eyes just like fall out, and then he like stabs him in the armpit. And oh my god, it was amazing. That was
I also feel like that was one of the stronger points of the writing because at least personally, they did a really good job of making me endeared to these characters that I had known for all of 5 minutes.
Big John and Little John.
I really felt their death. I love them so much.
You know, Big John and Little John are high points of the movie, and I think strangely the characters you care about the most. I'm like,
easily.
Laurie Strode's daughter, who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
You know what I mean? Her granddaughter? Man, whatever.
Somebody's got to run around.
Guy in the skirt, sure, I guess. But like Big John and Little John, man, they're portrayed by Scott MacArthur and Michael McDonald of Mad TV.
It's Stewart. Look what he can do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is Stewart. So
that other guy though, what was his name? Steven?
Scott MacArthur.
Scott MacArthur. He plays the big bad in Righteous Gemstones. He's the dude with the devil face, who's great, by the way.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's also in El Camino, but I don't remember who he is in El Camino.
There's a lot to be distracted about in El Camino. You know what I mean?
That movie sucks.
Like, how did they think this was going to work?
I didn't mind the movie when it came out, but the longer that I sit on it and think about it, I'm like, why did we do this?
Why did it need it?
Just let it go. Put out a comic book.
Yeah. Put out a Telltale interactive video game.
It could have been. It could have been like a little event of Better Call Saul. You know what I mean? Totally unwarranted.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely seems that way.
You hear that, Vince Gilligan? Try harder.
Hey, he was just looking at stacks of money and he was like, I'm doing it.
It's like, I'm not close enough to lay on it like Huel did when he was loading it into those barrels, but I bet I could get pretty close.
You could, if you tried harder.
Huel.
Well, I guess, you know what? Maybe, we're talking about our favorite kills. Favorite kills. I gotta say, I'm not crazy about the Strodes or even Little Strode boyfriend. What's his name again?
Sean.
I don't know.
Cameron?
Movie?
I don't know.
It might be Cameron.
Damn, I just rewatched Halloween Kills and the first one today, and I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I mean, who cares about this character? But when Michael kills him, he brutally kills this guy.
It was kind of unwarranted.
Yeah. His name is Cameron.
Well, Michael's old school. He's from a long time ago. You probably didn't appreciate him wearing a skirt.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Could be.
Because in the first movie, who are they? Do you remember what their Halloween costumes are?
Bonnie and Clyde, but reversed.
Yeah, gender swapped Bonnie and Clyde. He gets stabbed and then he gets back up a little bit and you're like, hey, is this guy gonna make it? And then Michael just like,
oh no.
Michael just like impales him on a banister. Like a staircase banister.
A banister that he broke with his head.
Yeah.
He like shoves him through and then like really gets into him. And then when he's walking down the stairs,
that was the best
breaks
part.
his neck, man. He goes so hard on it.
For a second, I was like, he's not going to leave him alone, is he?
Yeah.
And then he like looks at him and I'm like, oh, this is great. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a smart Michael move. You don't want that kid getting back up and stabbing you in the back while you're trying to murder this girl. That would just be annoying.
I don't know if that guy was getting back up though. Man.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, his
Michael's like, I keep getting back up.
Is everyone like me? Is anyone like me? What about you? Do you got a
Damn, he's
favorite
just out there looking for love, man.
Oh
He's
my
just
God.
trying to find his Bonnie.
Everyone says, "Where's Michael?" Whenever everyone asks, "How's Michael?"
I think one of my favorite kills, besides like Little John and Big John, because just emotionally it gets me so good.
Yeah.
The old couple that's messing around
Oh,
with
yeah,
the little stupid helicopter, the little
Aw.
drone.
That was sad.
Like, yeah, it is sad. But I really love the way he like grabs that fluorescent light bulb and he's like, yeah, I could probably kill with this. And then he's just like digging it in, you know what I mean? And the way that she's just there watching him as Michael's trying out all those knives on this dude's back to see which one he likes the best.
As
I really like that.
Yeah,
as
that's
like
funny.
when you're like a viewer watching this, like for me, I was like subconsciously like, you're not gonna show this row of knives and he's not gonna use it. And then they did the fake out with the fluorescent bulb, and I was like, okay. And then he brought it back, and then I was like, this is a little brutal.
Yeah, the bulb was just to buy him some time so he could go knife shopping. You know what I mean? I really like
What
that.
a creative kill! Just,
Yeah, that's good stuff.
What haven't I tried yet? He's like looking for that trophy right now.
You think
He's
he's
getting
getting for
one
reals?
kill with every item. He's like, man, what else do I have?
he's like at that point in the RPG where he's in God mode, and he just like has to find ways to satisfy himself.
Dude finds like a cheese grater and he's like, this might take a while, but I think I might have something here.
That'd be a good one.
I got these dungeon rats. Yeah. Man, so I mean, I guess plot wise though, I'm trying to think of other things we skipped. We talked about the intro.
Oh, okay. I almost forgot a kill, and it's also a scene I want to discuss. But
Yeah.
the group that's in the car that stops at the park to
Yes. Okay,
shoo
let's-
those
let's
kids
hit
away.
that.
Yeah, I'd really like to talk about that scene. I don't want to talk about my favorite kill in that scene yet because it's like at the very end. But
Oh yeah, dude. Oh
first
yeah.
mistake, you're gonna choose the driver of the car to go out and search. Like, how are you guys gonna get away if something bad happens?
Yeah.
and they don't.
And the car is on.
Yeah, and that
By the way.
whole group has absolutely none of their shit together, which also, like, I
Yeah.
feel like that's how a lot of people would react in that situation. That guy's not actually a doctor. He's just dressed like a doctor. He's
Right.
not- he's just some dude.
No,
I
his
just played
wife
one on TV.
His
Yeah.
wife's the doctor.
No, his wife's a nurse. A slutty nurse.
She's dressed as a nurse, but she's the real doctor.
Oh, she's an actual
and
doctor?
He's
That's-
a nurse.
That's
He's dressed as a
hilarious.
doctor.
So they're
yeah.
doing like the Bonnie and Clyde swap too.
Yeah.
That's fun. But yeah, like I love that dude getting stabbed in the eye. That's pretty solid. I really like
That was great.
that
Yeah.
our returning actress runs out of bullets in that little 5-shot revolver. Because every time I've had my revolver at the range, I pull it that 6th time every time, man, and it's so disappointing. And that's how that goes, you know. And then our doctor nurse lady with the 50 cal Desert Eagle, when she goes, she starts to climb out of the car, and I'm figuring she's gonna peek over the roof, pop some shots off because that would have been really
Blind
easy.
fire. Yeah.
No, she falls onto the road, waits till everybody's murdered, and then just starts blind firing into the car, missing everything. And then Michael
Yeah.
kicks the gun back at her. She blows her head off. I laughed out loud the first time I saw it. When I watched it again today, I was by myself just laughing. It is so
I was
funny.
surprised that she could fire that thing.
Yeah.
That scene reminds me a lot of playing Friday the 13th, the video game.
Yes.
It's like you're in a car with 3 other people. You're about to get out. Everyone's got weapons and stuff. And then Jason shows up and grabs the driver. And instead of everyone just getting out of the car
Running.
and just like hitting Jason once so they can get back together,
Toss a little pocket knife in him.
they all just panic. Everyone's
Yeah.
just like, ah, and then they run away. It's like everyone's death is on each other's hands because they really could have at least gotten away.
Oh, yeah.
I granted they're all acting like scared sheep, but like the old lady is sitting in the car and she knows he's on top of the roof, and then she doesn't hear or feel him get off the roof. And she still puts her head outside to like look out there.
Well, let me check to make sure he's really up there before I ruin
Yeah.
the roof of this
He's
car.
got to be gone.
It's like they're all like newborn clones or something. They look old, but they've only been on Earth for like 30 minutes and they just don't know anything. And it's pretty incredible.
In the meantime, what's her name? The driver is watching. Just like
Watching and preparing. She's like, oh, once I feel like this sack is heavy enough of bricks, I'm gonna go over there and stop this.
Yeah, if old Kyle was a little bit faster, then maybe she could have
I
helped.
feel like 3 or 4 bricks would have done the job.
Yeah, or just grab the bricks and throw them at him
Yeah.
or something. You just need to get a
There you go.
small distraction in.
you're a survivor
Yeah.
of Michael Myers. Right?
Yeah, see,
don't
she's-
you know that it's not going to kill him?
She's the person in Friday the 13th, the game, who's like searching the house while people are dying outside. It's like, what? Just get back over here. Just
we need
get
your
back
help.
over here.
Bring a
Well,
pocket
you-
knife.
all you guys are dying, man. I'm gonna need more supplies to make it out of this one on my own. You know.
Well, And she does live, right? We discovered this, that I feel like in a slasher movie, if you come into an encounter with the killer,
Yeah.
even if you escape that scene, unless you're the final girl, you're not going to make it out alive. But she makes it. So maybe she'll be back for the third Halloween.
That's a good tense moment too.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
because they don't even really go
Scene.
back to her.
You're
No.
just like waiting for the moment that he's going to discover her. You know what I mean?
They just forget about that character. So it's a little weird. Maybe there's a deleted scene or something. Who knows?
She was saved by Michael's poor peripheral vision out of that mask.
He's getting old.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's
too.
true. And at nighttime, it's difficult to see. He should think about LASIK.
Plus, it's fall. Those bones got to be
I
achy.
was gonna
That dude's
say,
got a ton of injuries.
I want to see him have like a compression sleeve over his jumpsuit on his knees in the next one.
popping like a Bayer aspirin in the morning for his heart health.
to hop around a little bit, like, he's going to be old, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, in your head. But for some reason, when I saw him, I was just like, this is just like some old man.
Yeah, he's just an old bald man.
It really threw me off for a second. But yeah, that makes sense that he would be old because it's a sequel to like a 70s movie. So we skipped a scene sort of at the beginning where Michael is first escaping from the burning house in the first movie.
Oh, yeah.
And the fire department shows up. And you know that they're all excited to be like, we got this.
I got the jaws of life.
we get to talk trash to the police for years if we pull this off. You know what I mean? And then Michael just pulls off this impressive group kill.
Yeah.
Which, if anything, maybe this is part of the reason why the ending feels deflated for me. Because we start the movie off with a group of very, handy men. They're all muscular.
Well, they're not actually trained fighters.
No, they're not trained, but neither
they're
is the
trained
mob.
firefighters.
If he had been on fire,
If he had been on fire,
yeah, then maybe they would have stood a chance.
they would have put him out.
I don't know,
very
George.
effectively.
Let us know if that's very accurate.
Oh, George's never gonna watch this movie.
That's true.
He's terrified.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's a giant
I
chicken.
forgot he
He's
can't
the
watch it.
world's
Sorry,
largest
George.
chicken.
We'll have to send him this the clip of just that one scene if it gets out on YouTube.
If he can make it through it.
Oh, it's too scary, maybe. But yeah, then we get another group fight at the end, which is just like less interesting, I feel like. The first one, and it's also that the firemen, I like the fact that they chose every possible weapon possible.
Yeah.
They were-
Including the fire hose.
including the fire hose.
That
which
was fun. He was just, shh.
which should put somebody at least on the floor.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
But they couldn't have had a lot of pressure coming out of the thing. It was only one man manning the hose. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I mean, I love that Jaws of Life scene where he just like
As soon as he
wraps it up.
turns on the saw, I'm just like, oh, I can't wait for Michael to take that away from you.
Yep.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited about it.
and it's very fast.
Yeah.
And in that second scene, I mean, we'll get there. We'll get there. That's just
I mean, even just in the house when he's bashing in that one firefighter's face
Oh,
with like
yeah.
that pry bar. Oh, so brutal.
Do you think there was at least one cop, Danny, who was making some jokes when he showed up? Like, found all those firefighters got up. There's like one cop who's like, all right, come on, guys.
if I've seen Tacoma FD enough, which I have. Yes. Yes.
Hey, so I guess we win next weekend's softball game by forfeit, huh?
Oh, man. So let's talk about the Strode family, because this is a storyline that I feel like nothing actually happens. It's really just a series.
We got all the Strode stuff in the first one. You know what I mean?
That's true. The trauma that Lori's put on her family.
And Karen's a real Karen.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, Karen is aptly named Karen. This is Judy Greer's character, who I love Judy Greer.
Yeah, she's great.
And it seems like she's in every movie now.
Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Everything.
And then we have Andy Manichak as Allison Nelson, the youngest of the Strode ladies. For them, it's kind of a series of finding out that Michael's alive. Like, that's really all that's going on with them. It's like, we killed him, yes. And then some guy's like, what? You don't know?
Oh, nobody told you?
And then like and then Judy Greer will be like, man, I'm glad we're done with Michael. And then the daughter's like, you don't know?
Oh, we can't tell grandma.
And then Lori wakes up out of her like
She's
little
all
coma.
stoked. Yeah.
And she's like, we got Michael at least. And it's like, what? You don't know? It's like, geez, man, how many times are we gonna hit this bit?
Well, no, they hide it from her for a little while.
They do.
Like
They
a
intentionally
good
hide
little
it.
while.
It's the cop who ends up telling her.
Yeah.
Deputy Frank Hawks, who's Will Patton. Who,
No,
I
'cause he
love
doesn't know
Will
either.
Patton.
Like he
He's
got
a-
messed up by Michael before they trap him in the house.
Oh, that's right.
Or
That's
no,
right. That's
Michael doesn't even mess him up. The doctor
other-
does.
yeah,
the doctor
the
stabs
doctor.
him in the neck because
So
he's trying
wait,
to save
how
Michael.
did they hear again then that Is it the news?
Isn't it Tommy?
I'm pretty sure the news, or like when the hospital starts being overrun, which is actually one of the things I really liked about this movie, seeing all the bodies in the hospital. Because it's like, yeah, if there's a psychopathic killer on the loose, the hospital's going to get swamped that night.
ER is going to be crazy, man.
That is interesting. That would be a really funny Scrubs episode. You know what I mean?
The logistical issues around a Halloween like movie for the town.
I'm not Superman.
Dr. Cox is just yelling at him to like get his shit together.
Oh, that's
come on, newbie.
That's definitely a Dr. Cox breakdown episode. You know what I mean? Where he can't take one more loss. He's at the end of his rope. How's he gonna make it? He always makes. He's Dr. Cox.
And then like JD's thinks the janitor's Michael Myers the whole time.
It has to be a really good episode of Scrubs. A show that hasn't aged particularly well. When's the last time you guys watched Scrubs?
Haven't watched it in
a
minute,
long
man.
time ago.
You guys, pop on an episode of Scrubs. You're gonna be like, wow, this feels like the
Which
early
episode
2000s.
should I watch?
Just start with number 1.
All right.
You'll get it. Maybe you'll get back in. I mean, it's still a good show, but it like shows its time period very plainly. I don't know. Anyway, that's way off topic. Get back to good old Halloween Kills. Shoot, I mean, are we missing anything else? I feel like we hit almost every big scene. We hit them out of order. That's okay.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
We got the ending. So
This isn't a storyboard; it's a podcast.
after that's true. After Anthony Michael Hall riles up the people and they accidentally kill this or force this man to commit suicide, and then everyone's like, "Oh man, this is really terrible."
Wow, we're kind of stupid.
Then he's immediately like, after learning how dangerous the mob is, "All right, guys, evil dies tonight. Let's keep going."
He even says something like, "Well, what do I do now? Just quit and go home?"
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I already got everybody all riled up.
Look. I'm not trying to learn anything tonight, all right? We're going to keep this train going. I don't care how many people get inadvertently killed because of me. It'll be less than Michael
they get
Myers.
themselves trapped in a war on evil
This is
that never ends.
This is an anecdote for 9/11.
I was gonna say, and this is like an exact anecdote for QAnon too. Like he like stirred all these people up, and now he's just like, "Oh well, I'm not gonna stop."
Never forget, Anthony Michael Hall is a war criminal. But yeah, and you know what? You're probably right too, Danny. Like this is definitely influenced by the times we live in.
Yeah.
False information and all that stuff. Yeah. But anyways, they go out. They do another. Okay, so they mob Michael, and he's down for the count. At this point, guys, you got to saw off his head. You know what I mean?
Dude, not even just his head. Take his head, take his arms off, his legs, take them to different parts, and then burn
Melt
them all.
them.
Burn him
Yeah.
and then like put one in the ocean and like
for
bury
reals.
one and throw one in a volcano or something.
Like,
You gotta
Put one
get
in
intense.
a box and then underneath the construction zone, like the game board in Jumanji.
oh, there you go.
And then you send one of them into space and dun dun dun.
That way he can only come together like Exodia.
Halloween floats. Oh, yeah, like Exodia. There's some Jumanji Halloween crossover that ends up being
Yu-Gi-Oh.
just a tad of Yu-Gi-Oh. That could be pretty sweet. I don't know in what universe, but anyway.
We've got some pretty terrible scripts in the works. If we really put our minds to
Dude,
it.
this Scrubs episode is gold.
Yeah,
if
the
we
Scrubs
can
one
get,
is
if
a
we
good
can get
one.
Zach Braff on board,
He's not that hard to get on board.
I mean, maybe we can get him to do the whole thing on Cameo for like $40. You know what I
that
mean?
sounds
yeah,
pretty
you know what?
doable.
You're not wrong.
We need you to say these lines in this outfit and try and get close to this background. We'll work. Do a green screen. We'll do the rest of the
We got it from there.
Man, what was I just talking about? Oh yeah. So then the mob, the angry mob, subdues Michael.
Yes.
Someone brought an iron to the fight too, though.
Oh
Did
yeah,
you see that
yeah.
one lady that
there's-
brings an iron?
There's comical weapons in there. I mean, it's it's what it is. Then they do it again.
Hey man, if you hear a call on the street like, "Hey, we're doing an angry mob," you just grab whatever's closest to you. You know what I mean? You don't want to waste 15, 20 minutes trying to find the perfect weapon, which is why you need like 16, 17 guns. You know what I mean?
Well, it is. You know what? I think it is a poor reflection of American society that there aren't more guns. The more that I think about
it's
it,
the
Danny.
Midwest. Like, there's got to be a shotgun somewhere.
You telling me these people don't have machetes?
Right.
Little Strode had a shotgun in the first one.
Yeah. Well, she has one in this one too. She's got a little pump action, doesn't she?
Oh yeah.
But she doesn't
Same
have.
gun.
She has like 3 shells. Like
She
doesn't
won't
have
shoot
the
'em.
extra- She shoots one of them.
She pops one off at a pumpkin, and then she pops another one off at the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
Before
That's the end of
getting that
shotgun.
gun taken away
Yeah,
from her.
exactly. But after the mob subdues Michael, they hit us with one more. Michael's dead, and then like, oh wait, you haven't heard? You know what I mean? Like,
While the coach from Remember the Titans is just like, yeah, I think that's part of the evil of Michael. You can't kill him. Every kill who becomes stronger.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
I liked. Which is part of the lore.
That's part of
right?
That's just good old. I mean,
It's always been him.
until you get into the lore in Halloween, that's like a voodoo possession.
Oh, where
spell
he's like
thing.
a demon or something like that.
Yeah, they Toby him. They give him the Toby treatment.
Isn't that Season of the Witch?
No. Season of the Witch doesn't have Michael.
Oh, that's right.
Similar
it's
to
the
Friday
young girl,
the 13th,
right?
they have this thing where it's like they want to do something different and then immediately turn their backs on it because everyone hates it. Season of the Witch isn't even like a slasher movie. It's like this company who's creating these masks that children are getting hypnotized into buying through advertisement.
Oh my God.
And on Halloween night, it's going to like make all their heads explode and like ooze goose. So
That's
A
so
little bit
dumb.
like that one Batman and Robin movie.
yeah, actually it's pretty much the same thing. If anything, that movie is a ripoff of Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
With good old Jim Carrey and not the
Tommy Lee
drummer,
Jones.
Tommy Lee
Lee
Jones.
That's an interesting movie because it's not a Halloween movie, but it's not necessarily bad. There are people who hate it because
That's a great
it's
movie.
not, not what they want.
Oh, we're talking Season of the Witch?
yeah, I'm talking about
Oh, I'm
Season
sorry. I
of
was
the
talking about.
Yeah, suck on Batman,
Dude, that movie sucks, but I'll watch it any day of the week, dude.
It's a great shitty movie.
Yeah, the only reason I had that on VHS. That was
Yeah,
one
me
of the
too.
VHSs that really got like,
Iconic cover.
iconic cover. And then you got Nicole Kidman as that therapist. It's like,
You got the bat nipples?
oh my gosh.
Can't
Love
forget
it.
about
There's
the
too much
Batnips.
eroticism in that movie. Seal.
That's erotic on its own.
So then we get this thing of like Jason in a prison fight, Michael in a prison fight with 12 to 15 people and they're
Oh my
circling
God, man.
around him.
Oh my
Yeah, it's
God.
kind of like that scene where Opie dies in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah.
Except if Opie had just like manhandled everyone.
Yeah, I was gonna
He-
say,
he
are we
got
talking?
back up?
Yeah.
Are we talking about the John Wick moment that's happening right now?
Yes.
Another John Wick
And,
moment.
and this is what I don't know. After watching *Malignant* and just laughing hysterically at the over the top ending, I was like, "This is a little too close to."
He's the shape.
Yeah,
He's not a kung fu master.
Yeah.
In any way.
He didn't use any kung fu.
Okay.
well, it wasn't kung fu, but like close quarters combat.
Yeah.
But it's because he's the apex predator, Danny.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
an
well.
apex
He's an
predator.
apex predator.
Once he starts, he can't be stopped.
All I'm saying is, you
Great
got
White Buffalo.
you got 12 to 15 people. You guys just need to coordinate better. Is what's going on. Like they were going in for a one-on-one fight. It was like really weird.
So human nature is weird, man. Like people, when you discuss a plan even beforehand, immediately that plan goes to shit. But you get people in a high stress situation, it's not going well. Especially like your everyday citizen. I watched this YouTube channel called Active Self Protection with Big John Korea. And it's all like
Wait, Big John, is there any relation to this Big John?
no, he's just some guy.
Oh, okay.
He's a guy who runs this YouTube channel and a training company. But anyways, it's all just like self-defense footage, like self-defense encounters. The vast majority of which don't go well because people aren't trained,
Yeah.
and in a high stress situation, you do dumb stuff. You miss 12 times and then you have no more bullets. You know what I mean?
But that's like a one on maybe more, you know what I mean, scenario. It's like, this is Angry Mob. Angry Mob's just got to go like this. You know what I mean?
No pitchforks.
I guess there was some long stuff.
There was one pitchfork.
But you would
actually.
still need everybody to go in at the same time.
I guess that's true.
I'm gonna attribute it to maybe the mob got its rage nut out in like the first in the hospital.
They got a little bit of a post Lynch clarity.
Yeah, they got.
Yeah.
They got exhausted and they were
That's
just like,
That's a sentence I wasn't ready for tonight. I didn't think I was going to hit that. All I'm saying is, if Michael was going up against the Cholos from Paranormal Activity, marked
dude.
ones,
Arturo.
Game
Well,
over, dog.
those cholos aren't regular everyday people. Those are soldiers.
They
in
are
the
in El
street,
Paso.
man.
Santo and Arturo, they would have taken him out easy.
Yeah, see, but those guys weren't getting up to go to work the next day. You know what I
the
mean?
Warriors told me those are everyday normal people. That's what that movie taught me. So I don't know. Oh, and then you can't forget this, like, and what I feel is just like a really unnecessary scene. It was like Judy Greer saying, "Guys, I'm tapping out of this franchise," but she goes inside Michael's house after they think Michael's dead, goes up into his room to look out his window like Michael did when he was a child, and then Michael's back and kills her, and then that's the end.
That's like that's how they're gonna get Lori back in the game. Like,
Yeah.
with the fervor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's like us as the audience, at least in my perspective, I don't care about Judy Greer's character.
No, not particularly.
Yeah.
And also, just
she
like,
was given some great training by her mom, which she shunned away. If she had
Yeah.
just listened to everything, she would have been fine.
also though, like, why is she in that room? What is the motivation of the character to go up to that room?
It's just like what drives Michael, you know what I mean?
guess.
Like I want to see what he saw. The same way the sheriff in the flashback at the very beginning was like, oh shit, I realized like what Michael saw was he was looking at his own reflection.
Huh.
Like he
Yeah.
was looking at the evil within himself.
the evil within.
Great game.
Um, yeah, I mean, I guess I could see that. I think that's a very apt analysis. I just don't, it just bothers me when the character, and I guess a high stress scenario, but come on, man. How many times are we going to make this mistake where it's like, oh, Michael's not actually dead?
Yeah, and she's been trained by, like you said, Laurie Strode, who obviously would have told her like he's not dead till he's dead. You know what I mean?
But I mean, I get, and she has pushed that out of her mind. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Actively dissociating with that. But you would think
And she
that
hasn't
at
had that
least
training since he was 12. She was plucked out of there.
I just feel like that's got to be. I mean, it was
She
such
treated
a
it like
traumatic.
trauma.
It was such a traumatic experience, though, that some of that's got to stick with you.
No, but she treated it like trauma. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? She
burying it.
tried to like bury it down, and
I just feel like the character already overcame that in the last movie,
That's
and that
true.
was a big thing at the
Yeah.
end. Was that like, hey, we're on the same page. We're the Strode. Girls get it done.
Girls get it
You know
done
what
at
I
the
mean?
end there.
We were
That's
ready
true.
for that.
Peak girls get it done.
even in this movie, she gets that sick pitchfork stab in.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she gets some good stuff into. But you know what? Sometimes slasher movies are just that's
Dumb.
the way they end.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're dumb, and you know what? That's not necessarily a bad thing.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I knew that's what I was getting into when I sat down and plugged in.
And it's not unwatchable, which is the most rewarding thing of it.
No,
I watched it a second time.
I'll
I
watch
still
it.
had
Yeah,
fun.
I'll watch it again.
I would just say that it's a little bit boring for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
little
the
bit.
only reason why I'm not crazy about it. And if I was in the mood, because look, I ain't gonna be watching the whole Halloween franchise again unless it's like
Unless it's for the channel.
unless it's for the channel. Oh my god. You guys don't want to watch those 12 movies either. I'm just telling you.
I do not.
Um,
H2O, get that away from me.
But man, H2O is one of the better ones, man.
That's so weird,
compared
man.
to some of these other ones. But anyway, I would probably pick a different movie. Is all I'm saying. I would if someone said right now, what are you gonna do? I'd be like, I'd rather watch Halloween David Green, the 2018 one.
Yeah.
And I don't know if is it the best thing for a sequel to make you want to watch the first one again, like as opposed to like being interested in the sequel more? You know what I mean?
That's kind of what happened with Jurassic World for me.
Yeah, it's like
that
wow,
second one's
Jurassic-
so bad
Yeah.
that like I don't even want to watch it. I'll just watch the first one again.
yeah, and get what I
Hey,
need.
you know what?
out
The
of
first
it.
one's still really good.
Dude, I mean, the first one is so good. I
Yeah.
mean, it's maybe the second best movie in the franchise
Yeah.
compared to the
first one.
Carpenter original.
I'm honestly excited to see what they're going to do with the landing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hope this is just a temporary valley. you know?
I haven't jumped off. I'm still down to check out the next one. And I think, you know what? I think a lot of people are going to like this movie.
Mhm.
The Rotten Tomatoes score is a little interesting to me. It
I
seems
felt like that was way too low.
critics are
39's a
really
little
hitting
rough.
it.
What's it at?
39.
That's a bit too low.
That's the critic score. But also
Yeah.
remember, though, they're not rating the movie 39. It's just that only 39% gave a positive review.
right.
Which is like, well, actually, in this case, we have a flipped demographic.
Yeah.
We're pretty close.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Check it out, guys. Tell us what you think about Halloween Kills.
I say it's definitely the money you spend towards it is due. It is a good movie. It's
Yeah.
well done. It's fun to watch.
Nice popcorn
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. It's definitely a good going out experience for that one. I'm sure.
And you got that sweet John Carpenter score, so
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's true
never
too.
a bad thing.
It's still cool, and it's not a waste of money.
Yeah,
That's for
every
sure.
time I hear, "Na-na-na-na," it's like, ooh, still gets me.
His son is doing the composing with him too on that one.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, do you think he's like
Family band
sitting
thing.
on his dad's lap, like driving the keyboard?
I think, it
I
sounds
think
like
he's an
60.
adult now, but I guess it's not out of the
And
question.
then he still has a butt. His dad still has a lap. I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah, I guess they're of age now.
So I guess it's time for Character Limit Extended Farm Edition. We're talking
I don't
about.
have any farm sounds. Shit.
Oh, that's
There's a gun on there.
That's a personal problem.
Gun's a farm sound.
In this one.
And this one is. So Lamb, the new A24 joint, we see a lead it. This is confusing. At the beginning of the month,
Yeah.
our timeline's all messed up, guys. I'm sorry.
It was weird to begin with, and then we had moved stuff.
Yeah, we had already filmed something in advance, and then we had to move something in the schedule, and then now this has all gotten messed up. So
Now this is actually the last podcast for Halloween. This is the
Yes.
Halloween
We're
podcast.
pulling
Happy
a paranormal.
Halloween.
We just keep going weird out in the timeline. And
Paranormal inspired us to jump through timelines and space and everything. So, at the time that we're recording this, we haven't seen Last Night in Soho yet.
Not yet.
So we'll have
Nobody has.
We'll have to get you later on. Yeah, no one's seen it yet. I guess maybe like
a
Sundance or
handful of
something.
people.
Yeah. Edgar Wright has seen it. Maybe Tarantino has watched it.
I'm like cautious about that movie now.
You know, I'm excited for Last Night in Soho, but I think it's going to be interesting. And at least the trailer is portraying it as a huge departure for Edgar Wright, where it seems just like a psychological thriller.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what he does in a movie that really has no humor. Or
But will it
very
have
little.
cornettos?
I hope it's, I mean, I hope it has this timing. It looks a lot like the Neon Demon or Starry Eyes to me. You know what I mean?
I can see that.
I'm getting that vibe from it. Drive, that vibe too.
Oh,
What's that
Nicholas
guy's name?
Winding Refn.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyways,
anyway, we're not talking about that movie. No, we're talking about Lamb.
Whee!
And I believe Danny had the Hemingway for Lamb.
Did.
And why don't you kick us off and tell us your expounded thoughts?
This movie's not going to be for everyone, but it was definitely for us.
Dude, that is a perfect summary,
Yeah,
actually.
Not for the wide
Not
audience.
for everyone.
No,
I mean, I think even among the three of us, we all felt a little bit different about this movie.
Yeah.
Like it was a little divisive.
It was the pleasant surprise that I got in The Green Knight. Definitely going in there expecting something else and coming out appreciating what I saw. And that's the case for Lamb too. I definitely appreciated what I saw. It's slow. It draws things out. You don't really know what's going on, but the small bits of situational humor and the subtleties really, and it's a family drama. It's,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's a great family drama with a little bit of paranormal aspects to it. Not even paranormal. It's a supernatural aspects and folkloric aspects to it. But it's really cool and really well acted. And I like the cast in this movie too.
Yeah.
Really good cast.
Great cast.
Awesome cinematography. This movie's
my goodness.
Beautiful movie.
Were you the chirp, Frank?
I was the book report. You were
I
the chirp.
was the chirp. Yeah. I couldn't remember which length of review I had written. Well, let me get a little sip of drink here.
It's hydration time, y'all. Hydration is important.
It is. I gotta say, I really liked this movie. I liked how sort of open it was, matching the aesthetic, wide open vistas. It was just sort of like you were there to assume things. You were dropped in to just a point in someone's life, and all you could do is kind of just like see the interactions and kind of think like, oh, maybe this wife, a spoiler alert, maybe this wife was cheating on her husband with her brother for a little bit.
Right.
Like they don't ever flat outright say anything. There's never any line of dialogue, but you see their interactions and you can kind of infer that like, hey, they had something going on.
The
and now
vibe definitely
she's not cool.
isn't like, hey, I'm into. It's like, hey, why don't we,
Especially
do what we
after
used
they
to do.
watch the music video too.
Mhm.
She's kind of fired up, but she knows she can't do it. You know what I mean?
The music video seems hilarious. in this movie.
Dude, that song ripped. That was a great
Yo,
song.
yeah. Can I stream it on Spotify?
Probably though. It's probably on some
I
weird
hope so.
playlist.
Because even in the theater, Raven and I were like, not bad.
Not bad.
It's pretty good.
This guy could have gone somewhere. But yeah, there's also some stuff, like the family is suffering from a loss. Their child has died, which honestly, like they don't tell you anything other than you see that there's like a crib that he's pulling out of a shed. And just like the kind of nuance of the performances, you assume, hey, like they had a kid or like something didn't happen.
And
Who knows what
they go
it
to like
was.
visit the grave at a point.
that's
Yeah,
true.
and they do, but that's towards the end of
Yeah.
the movie, whereas at the beginning of the movie, when we're trying to figure out motivations, we don't really know,
Yeah.
exactly what's happening there. But ironically, and this is irony, really. No, this is more coincidence. Anyways, you decide. That scene reminds me a lot of the Hemingway short story challenge. That's the 6-word things: baby shoes for sale, never worn.
Yeah.
Which is Hemingway's 6-word story, which is a big inspiration for that segment.
That's crazy to think about.
Kind of weird connection going on there, but
Nice couch, David.
what can I say?
I appreciate that this movie's about inferences. You know what I mean? Like it asks you as the A24 moviegoer, think about it. And then it's, it's not just saying like, bah, 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 this is what's happening. Oh, they're also doing that too. Bah, 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 this is what's happening.
What it kind of cracks me up because in parallel to Halloween Kills, in Halloween Kills, they're like every, how long was
You don't
Halloween
know that
Kills
Michael's dead?
runtime again?
105.
Okay, of the 105-minute runtime, at least 15 of those minutes are flashbacks to like a pre-existing
true.
movie.
Yeah.
And scenes that didn't happen.
Or scenes that didn't happen, because it's like we need to make sure the audience knows exactly what's going on, and we can't rely on the audience to think about anything. The same thing happened. I recently watched for the Instagram shout out, Uninformed Movie Reviews on Instagram, 31 Days of Horror Reviews, which will be over by the time you're hearing this. But I'll be putting one out today, the same day this
Still
podcast
follow
comes
it though.
out. Anyway, I watched the Fear Street trilogy on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Which was actually pretty good. Like, it gets better as the movies go on. The first one's the worst one, I think. But what's insulting is by the time you get to the third made-for-streaming movie, they're doing flashbacks to the first movie to make sure you didn't forget things that happened.
Like, let's be honest. I'm watching this in one sitting.
Yeah, like, I'm watching this all on the same Saturday afternoon.
Did they all come out at the same time?
They came out, I think, weeks apart from each other.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't like years. You know what I mean?
You can't remember.
Exactly. So it's nice to watch a movie like Lamb where they're not holding your hand. But in this one, I mean, they're really not holding your hand. They're leaving you behind a little bit.
If anything, there's probably a full page of dialogue in this entire.
Maybe.
Oh,
yeah.
especially the beginning of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for the first 30 minutes, there's hardly anything said whatsoever. So if what we've been describing sounds like a terrible bore, you're probably not going to want to watch this movie.
I would watch it at home. I like the theater experience on this movie. Pretty great.
I think so.
I did not like my theater experience, but that's because I went to Cinemark instead of Alamo Drafthouse. That's a whole nother story.
How are you going to get your truffle popcorn?
I wouldn't, because popcorn's gross.
Were the seats at least comfortable?
The seats were pretty dope. I'd have to give
That's
them that.
my only nag against Alamo is they need to update their seats.
I'm fine with the seats in Alamo.
I like the seats in Alamo because I'm not trying to fall asleep. Whereas the Cinemark, I'm like a little too close to it. It's like, geez.
I'll say that Flicks here in El Paso gets that seat to table ratio right.
Interesting.
It's bigger. It's a nice reclining thing. It's comfy.
Is it longer and uncut though?
But also the table's not in your way with the stupid bar that's hitting your
Sometimes
leg
it is a little uncomfortable, especially if you're with the lady and she's got a purse.
Yeah.
That complicates things a little bit. Anyway, Frank, what did you think about Lamb? Give us your Cinemark aside.
I had a blast, man. It's a very, I feel like enjoyable is the wrong word to use because it's not like a delightful romp in this farm. You know what I mean? But yeah, I really appreciated the movie. Man, I'm trying to think of what else I had in my review because I always forget 280 words, 250 words. I always write too long of a book report, then I have to smash it down. But yeah, beautiful to look at, beautiful to think about. I really like it's the strangest way to ask the question, what is love? What is family?
Baby, don't
you know
hurt
what I
me.
mean? Yeah. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me no more.
Yeah, really.
And I wish I feel like there's a piece of Icelandic folklore that I'm missing to really have it hit home. So I might have to dig into that a little bit. Who knows? And it'll be handy because any day now we're going to have some burst in our numbers in Iceland. That's just the way it goes with our projects.
Faux Christmas movie?
Dude, yeah, why not?
Which strangely enough, so is Green Knight.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's the last two A24 movies have just been set around Christmas time.
Let's add them to the list.
Yeah.
I also really like, we were talking about the music video. I don't know if you guys caught it, but the lady that's in him with, the music video with the brother. Yeah, nobody's in anybody. Sorry. The people are like, damn, I gotta watch this movie. It sounds kind of hot.
There's lambs.
But the band member that's in the music video with the uncle is the lady who kicks him out of the car, when they strand him out there, in the middle of nowhere. I thought that was kind of fun.
I think it was his band.
It was
kicked
his
him out.
band.
Yeah.
That's a good way to get kicked out of a band. Just
You're
in
out
the
of the gang.
countryside. Yeah.
Pushing out a car.
For reals, dude.
You're out of the gang. Get out of here.
But yeah, I mean, it was a great time. Had me thinking about it for days. Very excited to watch it again, see what else we can pick up. Dope. Love the very subtle score to it. It's like you guys said, it's all subtlety. That's the best part.
Speaking of subtlety, we have a perfect story to follow up.
Nice,
A real
quaint,
subtle, succinct, quaint story for you. Let's kick it on over. Danny, it's time for...
Oh, that's interesting. So we usually tend to stick around entertainment news, movie news. This is a movie podcast, but something just caught our eye when we were looking around, and it's
did it catch our eye like some unassuming 8th graders?
Well, Frank.
Wait, what?
It's definitely a headline that will grab you. Hopefully not physically. This is...
We need to clarify. We're getting a weird territory right now, guys.
Headline reads from the Washington Examiner. Woman charged for running naked on football field while high on heroin in front of 8th graders.
Wow.
Yeah, let's just let that sit in for a second. You have to really dissect that title.
There's a lot. There's a whole story there.
A Jefferson City, Missouri woman is accused of running onto a football field full of school children while only wearing a scarf, prosecutors said. Lacey Youth, I'm assuming, was charged with sexual misconduct for the incident in which she exposed herself to 29 8th graders, one of whom was under the age of 15. Yikes.
Wait.
One
of them was under 15?
Are you 15 when you're in 8th grade?
No.
Are you sure we're not talking about Louisiana or something? Something where they got to add a couple of years on.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure we were 15. You're 15 in your freshman year of high school.
Yeah, you're
Right,
14,
yeah.
15.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
14,
sure.
15.
Maybe they're all at
They
that
should have
cusp.
all been under 15.
It has. Wait, maybe it was. Well, it's after summer. Is there that age thing?
Is it a remedial school?
I don't know. Maybe.
Interesting.
Who knows? Anyways,
What's going on with your public education system, Missouri?
Maybe they just start a year later.
let's just say it's probably not the greatest.
Well, I mean, they're ranked higher than us for sure.
Weird.
Texas is 48 or something.
Oh my gosh. Yet they spend the most money.
Well, that's usually how that goes.
Well, it's not like our superintendents would do anything wrong in this.
No.
No. Very, very honest dudes.
Yes.
Yeah. Going on, youth allegedly jumped over the Heliest football stadium fence. Sorry, there's a lot of words in here that are just strange. Like youth is her name, and she exposed herself to youth and ran onto the field.
Wow, foreshadowing.
Where students participated in a youth program. Youth told officers she had taken heroin before leaving her apartment undressed. So she showed up there naked. She just...
All I know about heroin is Nirvana songs, but it doesn't seem like the kind of drug that puts you on a time to be running through.
Everybody's body's a little bit different, but usually you're
It's not
lying on a bed trying not to choke on your own vomit.
It's not an upper.
You know what? Those 8th graders know exactly how that girl's body's different. They're like, wow.
She said she was looking for help because she thought she was going to die while under the influence. Makes sense.
Yeah, pick up that phone, dial 911, baby.
Yeah, but it's a spider. It just crawled off, Frank. It just crawled out of your room. Now what?
Wow. I mean, needless to say, she's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a sex offender.
Yes. She's going to have to register. Well, I don't know. Missouri's a little lax on these kind of things, I'm assuming.
I'm just saying, if she pulled this off at a college campus, and even more importantly, if this was an 80s movie, and she was in the movie, and it was a college...
That's just wacky hijinks.
Baseball team that was trying to win the tournament so they could keep their fraternity house, then would fit right in.
The catcher would have ran out and tackled her. Everybody would have had a good laugh.
Yeah, but when it's 8th graders, no, that's...
Especially today.
That
creepy.
is a technical foul.
Yeah. Oh, that is creepy.
It's a technical foul.
Oh, that's illegal.
Wow.
Yeah, so let that one sit in, folks. Don't leave your house naked.
Also, don't be jumping over fences naked. That's a good way to end yourself in a terrible situation.
It's just weird to me that she left her house naked and went to a football game, a youth football game.
probably wasn't in the best state of mind.
Sure.
It was either that or like a random McDonald's.
But she didn't forget her scarf.
No, it was cold.
Priorities.
Wow. So we learned a lot of things today. You know what I mean? Don't, well, first off, never do heroin. Secondly,
Not even once. It's on that list.
don't be a streaker. You're going to be a sex offender. And then third,
Not even once. It's on that list.
if you're going to be part of an angry mob, at least get some kind of chant going when you're stabbing at the end. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, because you know what? At the end, they had dropped the evil dice tonight, but if
Yeah,
they
they
had like
did.
kept it
Evil
evil
dice
dice tonight,
I'm
yeah.
telling you, man, they lost the gusto
dice
in the
tonight.
first one.
They needed to be working in cadence like our heroes in Shaun of the Dead at the bar.
And there you go.
exactly. I was
No
going to say
music.
300, but I like your example way better.
Interesting.
Way better.
Yeah, fellas.
Danny, thank you for sharing that gem with us. Thank you for widening our horizons to new experiences.
A little look into
That's how you
Southeast.
enunciate.
For those who aren't familiar with America, this happens a lot.
Well, I was honestly expecting the Florida woman.
Yeah, this isn't a Florida story. How crazy.
Missouri's like,
It's
we
a
can catch
Florida
up.
story, but out of Missouri.
Yeah.
Missouri.
The great state of Missouri.
I'm sure she was born in Florida. Well, everyone, it's time for your favorite debate segment on a movie podcast. It's Peeps and Predicts.
Hey.
It's time where we take people, i.e. peeps. They can be real. They can be fictional. They can be fictionary. They can be from a game of Pictionary.
That's a wonderful portmanteau.
They can be a group of people. They can be one person. Who knows what's going to happen? They can be an ant, as we learned last episode.
Yeah.
A smooth shaven ant.
We're going to take this pair and then we're going to put them in a series of predicaments, a sort of game, if you would. Not a lot of squids involved in the game,
Or hunger even.
or hunger or saw blades, but sometimes they might.
Yeah, sometimes.
And here we go, Danny. Who are our peeps for today?
Hello, David. I want to play a game. Aaron from the movie You're Next versus Laurie Strode. This is an apt.
Oh,
Nice.
Okay,
Wow,
very,
apt pairing.
very
Who
episode
is the
appropriate.
better final girl?
Yeah.
Well, that's not the predict. Let's see what the predict.
Oh,
is.
yeah. We don't even know the predict. I'm sorry. We were just measuring up the
Who
characters.
is the better final? What? What?
I mean, obviously, Laurie at that point.
Dude, I don't
I
know.
don't
Have you
know.
seen Your Next, dude?
That's true. She does kick ass.
Like, Lori still is dealing with her problem. Erin's living her best life.
It's true.
I want to see Aaron in a Halloween movie. Is what they need to do.
Hey.
That's how you kill Michael Myers.
The predicament for those two is who would be a better vessel for Toby?
Damn.
Probably Aaron,
Erin.
right?
At this point, Lori's an old lady.
But
She's dealing with osteoporosis and she has to eat special yogurt to poop right.
would Laurie function as a proxy to Michael though, who's a really good killer and really good at doing the evils? And she's close to him. She would have a chance of being able to be like possessing Michael.
Or they just end up being like best buds.
Yeah. Toby needs a friend, a male friend.
I think there's something to say that Aaron is less experienced in the occult.
Yeah.
Because Your Next is grounded in realism, whereas Halloween, there are some spooky spells and things like that.
And supernatural. I mean,
I'll-
Michael is pretty supernatural.
Oh, this gets very complicated because it's like, okay, but which Halloween
Which time?
universe?
Yeah, true.
Which Laurie Strode? How old? Also, what does it mean to be a better vessel for Toby? We want someone who is going to be weaker, technically?
I think be able to be the proponent of more evil.
We want them to be the Katie?
I guess.
Well, Katie's not the vessel for Toby. Hunter is.
Right. So it would need to be closest to like a male of some sort.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know if Toby's going to be down for either of these to be the vessel, but all I know is that when Toby became human at the end of Ghost Dimension, he was just killing people still.
That's
and I would think you'd rather be a young woman than
than a Laurie
eating
Strode.
that Activia commercial stuff. You know what I mean?
And Erin has like survival training. She grew up in a like survivalist camp. She like knows how to kill.
Yeah, like Laurie's prepped, but Aaron is like on another level, I feel like.
She
Very
Lori
capable.
Lori learned how to kill. Erin was born in it.
And if you had like original Halloween Laurie against Aaron, there'd be no shot.
Yeah, she should be running around tripping over stuff.
The most effective time is now when she's like 70. So it's like, still, I don't know. I feel like this might be Aaron. for
This
me.
one might go to Aaron. I agree.
If I were a demon shopping for a new body, I'd be choosing Aaron.
You'd want the youngest.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And get the newest model car, you know what I mean?
It's efficient.
Yeah.
German engineering.
All right. Well, Danny, what do we got next?
Our next predict for those two would be who's most likely to choose Disneyland over Universal Studios?
Interesting.
Is Aaron more of a Universal Studios kind of gal?
I honestly feel like neither of these people are Disney people.
Yeah.
They've
Well-
both had very hard lives.
Sure.
They're both thrill seekers, which, let's be honest, the rides at Disney aren't as good as the rides at Universal.
No, they are not.
Well, yeah, and this is specifically Disneyland, not Disney World, which does have some thrilling rides.
or even
you know
like Epcot.
To be fair, I've never been to Disney World. I've only been to Land, which I found, quite
Boring.
frankly, underwhelming.
Oh, super boring.
Yeah.
And it's only the Magic Kingdom part of Disney World. It's like straight up Disneyland planted in one of the 5 or 6 worlds, however many there are in Disney World now.
Confusing.
Yes. Disney World is much better. I'll just say
have
that.
to go someday.
Pretty cool.
Florida man stabs young El Paso man at a Disney World.
Claims Universal is better.
Yeah. Yeah, over a dispute.
This
about
wouldn't
how-
have happened at Universal.
I mean, only thing I could say is Lori is older and she's probably from a time where Universal was not around compared to Disneyland, which has been around longer.
So she might have a little bit of nostalgia. Of
There's
like
a nostalgia,
seeing
and it was like one of the first type of that kind of theme park in America. Everyone from that age holds it pretty near and dear. I mean, I'm not gonna say everyone, but a large percentage of people from her generation.
You know what, Danny? You've sold me with this argument. Also, Erin's not American, so she's not going to have
That's
this
true.
weird tie to Disney. Like,
Or
I'm sure Disney's everywhere, but it can't be the same as like.
I don't know. People are pretty crazy about Disney in like Japan.
That's
and,
true. And if you're in Australia,
People
there is
pretty
Disneyland
crazy about a
Japan.
lot of things in Japan.
True. Let's pull one more. No, let's go Laurie Strode.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
get to Lori.
Laurie.
I
Okay.
think Danny's got a good argument
Yeah.
there.
Okay, so then we got a tiebreaker here.
Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs.
The predict
Who
that
could
will
eat the most
break this tie.
SpaghettiOs?
Oof.
Yeah, that was rough. Who is more likely to pronounce Mika's name correctly the first time?
Aaron,
Aaron for sure.
because she's not American.
Also, boomers ain't pulling off weird pronounced names of today.
She's gonna be like Michael.
Mr. Penna?
Micah?
Are you sure, Mr. Penna?
Oh my God, Micah. How is Mika even spelled?
It's spelled Micah.
It's spelled
It's
Micah.
spelled Micah.
Yeah.
It's got to be Aaron.
Dang, that means that Aaron progresses.
Yeah, Aaron progresses. I'm so proud of you, Danny. You've gotten the layout of this segment.
You didn't even need to put a map in front of you
Dude,
how it
took
works.
38 episodes. You nailed it. dog.
Now we know how long it takes for the rules to set into Danny.
Gold star. Anyway, jokes aside, it's now time for Aaron to go up against the Peeps and Predicts champion one, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Old Ben? Of course I know him. It's me. It's over, Aaron. He has the high ground. Here we go. Who is more likely to have an offensive Xbox Live gamer tag from 2008?
Oh shoot.
I mean, Aaron, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a long time ago in a galaxy
Yeah.
far, far away.
They
not-
didn't have Xbox Live yet.
He's not around for
It wasn't
2008.
produced. It's not a paranormal movie.
Well, sorry, Obi.
Yeah, wow, he was taken out pretty quick.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna have a good run, man.
And this
but
is exciting because we finally got another hard to kill Peeps and Predicts champion.
there we go. And that's something to be excited about. Someone who has got the physical
It's
prowess.
the same. She couldn't go against Burt Goomer.
Oh man, 2 survivalists
Yeah.
at it. But I would argue that she probably has more years of hardcore survivalism than Burt Gummer even did.
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
Good argument.
that makes Aaron the winner of Peeps and Predicts, our
There it
champ.
is.
At least until next time.
Yeah, champ of the week. We'll see what happens next time. And speaking of next time, here's what we got coming up in November.
Do tell us, David.
Yeah.
Our next CLE is going to be Le French Dispatch, which is coming out.
That's right.
Finally, I'm so excited to see this movie.
Damn, how disappointing it would be if they pushed it back again,
Dude,
like a week out.
I'll refuse to review it. Next podcast, we're doing Dune remake versus original.
Very excited.
Check them both out. Join the conversation. Then we got Ghostbusters Afterlife CLE coming out after that, and then finally, ending the month. with the Cowboy Bebop Netflix live action season 1 review.
We'll see.
Who knows, man?
Well,
Who
it's
knows?
really
I'm
up
just
in the
really
air.
excited to give the like casual TV viewers perspective on it.
Oh,
like
just
not
like,
have seen
Oh,
Cowboy
yeah,
Bebop.
that's good. That's
this
a good.
is just a TV show, and it was okay.
I
That's
will
a good
be
input
average
to
American,
have. Yeah,
There you go.
which I'm usually not.
Yeah.
you're not very average.
Well,
You're definitely above average.
No, like mediocre doesn't mean average, David. They're two different things.
okay, fair enough. I'll accept that.
Thanks for watching and listening to another episode of Uninformed Movie Reviews. Help us out with a like, share, and subscribe. And a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts has helped us out a lot. In getting discovered, follow Uninformed Movie Reviews at Uninformed Movie Reviews on Instagram and UMR Podcast on Twitter. We post a lot of updates, and David is going hard on the 31 Days of Horror.
Well, I mean,
David
Timeline.
went hard.
He
on
has
the
gone
31
hard.
Days of Horror.
No, he's still going. He's got one more.
I got today's.
Let's get ready for some Dune action coming up on the next UMR.
Oh man, sting time.
It's gonna get real sandy up in here.
Bring your sandals.